This is Walter Curtis, Director of the Technical Center for Goodyear in Akron, Ohio, responding to several questions relative to our development and the use of a rubber pneumatic tire for the Apollo missions to the moon. First question was, how did NASA approach us for the project? Basically, we just received a phone call one afternoon from NASA in Houston inquiring as to the possibility of us developing a small tire for a rickshaw they were developing or considering for use by the astronauts once they landed on the moon. Purpose of the rickshaw being to collect rocks and use it to haul rocks from the excursions that they were going to make from the lunar module. Discussions led to the specifics of what they needed it for, the kind of mission profile, the specific environmental issues that we would have to consider. And after that conversation, it lasted no more than an hour, we basically agreed to the program, and we got started immediately. It was followed by several trips to NASA in Houston to get more specifics, and the project was initiated after those trips. As to the question as to how long the process itself took for development of the product, NASA was in a relative hurry for this product, since they had determined that they had a problem in terms of the amount of weight that astronauts could carry back and forth between their lunar module and their excursions, and so they were very anxious to develop this rickshaw. So we basically had about 9 months to develop the product and furnish the tires to NASA in preparation for the lunar trip and the Apollo mission. In terms of who else contributed to the design, we really had a team of about 6 to 7 individuals representing expertise in materials, product design, and manufacturing capability, bringing all the expertise that was required to assure we ended up with a reliable product, but also to expedite it in the time frame that we had. The question, what were we thinking after we had developed the product and the lunar module landed on the moon? Actually, what happened was that the rickshaw, the little rickshaw, was folded up on the side, one of the legs of the lunar module. The astronauts, and I can't remember whether it was Shepard or Mitchell who exited the lunar module first. After he reached the lunar surface, they then detached the rickshaw from the lunar module, unfolded the legs which held the wheels, and then, of course, set the rickshaw down on the lunar surface. Our biggest concern was that the tires were still inflated, and we didn't hear a comment about that there was a flat tire on the moon. It was a concern because the tires were inflated in a vacuum chamber here on Earth to actually an inflation pressure of 2 psi absolute, which means they were flat as they took off from Earth. But getting into the vacuum of space, then they would inflate to 2 psi. So it was a major concern. There wasn't any concern after that, after there was assurance that the tires were properly inflated, and the astronauts were able to use the rickshaw very efficiently after that. Another question, did we receive a patent for this? The answer to that is no, and the reason being we really didn't apply for a patent. Basic use of a patent is to protect you from other people using a technology commercially, and of course the only use for this product was going to be on this one lunar mission, so there was no need to really get patent protection. The second reason is that, of course, the whole Apollo and NASA program is under government auspices, so all proprietary rights to any product or technology is signed over to the government for their use. So there was really no need to get a patent. It was considered, but we really didn't get one. Another question, any further participation after this one request by NASA on any future possibilities and use of this particular tire? And the answer to that is no. NASA had planned right along to come up with their lunar rover vehicle, which was a powered vehicle, which was used in later Apollo missions, which the astronauts actually sat on and used that to get a much broader excursion distance from the moon. So there was no use for this rickshaw, and no further discussion any further possibilities of its use for other Apollo missions. We did inquire at one time as to the possibility of getting the rubber tires back on a future Apollo mission. We wanted to do that for technical reasons, just to see how the vacuum and the lunar environment affected the rubber compositions of the tires. We were told by NASA that they really had no plans to go near the site of that Apollo mission. Of course, they'd always be interested in maybe planning one if we would be interested in funding such a program, and of course we weren't. Final question, any special recognition for the work we did on this? No special recognition. There was quite a PR program that was put together by Goodyear, and that was done worldwide, basically through press releases. There was some TV shots and so on, but no special recognition beyond a project well done internally for the people that actually participated in the program.
Contact